Ladies, gentlemen, and haradrim of all ages, it's only been a few days since the first developer livestream regarding Season 2 for Diablo 4, but there's been so much extra chatter from the devs that I'd feel remiss if I didn't talk about it, even knowing that there is a whole other developer stream coming up in just a few days. Part of what has come up is clarification about previous information we were told on the first stream, some of it is new information on what to expect to go down on the stream that's on the 10th, and some of it is just a deeper dive on Season 2, as after the last stream ended, they put up a full blog post with a bit more information that definitely has some major relevance. So let's start off by rounding up that blog post for starters for those who missed it. We learned during the stream a lot of info about the vampiric powers in Season 2, but we got some more specifics here in this blog post that are quite important. First of all, that potent blood is a new material drop from various enemy types within the season, and you will use this to either roll on random new powers that you can use, or upgrade powers that you already have to higher levels, with level 3 being the maximum. Each power has a requirement of certain packs on your armor to activate. In the stream we were told that pieces of armor would roll with some random packs on them, and that there would be items that we could get to apply specific packs to pre-existing armor on top of that. But one thing that I left out in the stream that was included here in this blog is a big deal as well, is the cleansing acid item, which removes all packs from a piece of equipment. And obviously the existence of this means that there is no actual forced RNG in this system anymore at a top level, because as long as you have farmed up enough of the packed application consumables, you can use the cleansing acid to fully customize your armor packs however you would want them to be. Then we just had the full list of vampiric powers revealed. I blitzed through it on my stream recap video, but to check them out again here, there are a ton of actually genuinely interesting ones. 20% cooldown reduction on ultimate skills is pretty big, as well as bonus damage to ultimate skills depending on damage over time effects, increased companion and similar skill damage to crowd control enemies, things like Prey on the Weak for not only bonus vulnerable application from the powers themselves so you don't even need it in your skill set, but also increased damage to vulnerable enemies, lots of healing and interesting interactions with basic skills as well, and of course the major powers too, which are the ones that require significantly larger packed investment. All in all, these just look a bit more interesting than Mulligan Hearts from Season 1 to me, even if it is the same basic concept at the center, just really expanded. The general idea of these is being class agnostic gives them more room to have interesting interactions with each individual class. We also got to see 3 new seasonal blessings. We know there are a total of 5, with these 3 being new: Urn of Blood, which will boost your Hunter's Acclaim rate, which is tied to Blood Harvest; Urn of Helltides to give you a chance of extra equipment from Helltide chests that will be legendary quality at minimum, which seems pretty good; and Urn of Swift Travel to lower Mount Spur cooldown time, which seems great. One last thing past that then, we got confirmation of what will happen at the end of Season 1. Your seasonal characters will be moved to the Eternal Realm as expected, and any items in your seasonal stash will go to a new page on the Eternal Realm stash that is withdraw only, and it just will have everything that you stored up in Season 1. You'll have to withdraw anything that you want from that page there before the end of the Season of Blood, or it will disappear, so get what you want, leave the rest. Past them, we have this tweet from the official Diablo account themselves, with an image that actually sneaks some pretty new major information into the bottom right corner there, with new Paragon glyphs. That's not only quite a major change, but something that wasn't even remotely touched on in Season 1, or even mentioned in the stream that we've had so far. So that could have quite a major effect on the way that we make builds in Season 2, depending on what they actually decide to add. My immediate guess would be that they might start adding in season-specific Paragon glyphs, like things that boost vampiric powers, or the vampiric curse mechanic in the season, for example, but we'll have to see exactly what it is, as we had it confirmed this will be one of the things discussed on the upcoming developer stream. Then we have confirmation of a bit of a slip up, as well as quite a bit of follow-up information regarding a major point from the first developer stream here, which is that the item power cap in Season 2 is going up to 920. Here, Joseph Pipiora, the game director of the live service side of Diablo 4, confirms that that is what he said in the stream a number of times. Then not long after, we have a tweet he actually made correcting himself and confirming instead that the new top item power in game will actually be 925. So a very slight difference, but a good one to be aware of. Then we get a bit of clarification on what this will actually be meaning for our equipment. It seems that percentage-based affixes will still have the same cap. A piece of 925 gear in Season 2 will probably have the same stat breakpoint as an 820 item is in the current state of the game. So your actual things like a bonus crit damage percentage affix will be exactly the same on a 925 as it was on an 820, and the general spread of affix power is going to be reworked and spread out differently to make this happen, which will likely move our old stat breakpoints around too, so we'll have to work out the new ones. We also learned that the same thing does not apply to flat value increases like flat damage, item power scaling legendary effects, maximum health increases, thorns, weapon damage specifically for weapons, or things like that, which will all reach notably higher numbers at 925 item power than they had at the old maximum. So percentage-based affixes will remain at a similar value on Top Gear as they are on Top Gear now, but flat values will in fact be getting a relatively big buff. Then we had someone asking about the stat breakpoint specifically and if they'd be moving, and the response is that they push back the threshold for what is considered ancestral gear, which isn't quite what the question was asking, and he then says that it may well come up on the upcoming stream, but if not, he will post more about it himself on Twitter, so we'll keep an eye here as well to see more information about this as it comes out after the next stream. Then we have a specific tweet from Adam Jackson, lead class designer, saying that enjoyers of the overpower mechanic will definitely be happy with the changes that are coming, and that is honestly quite exciting to see for sure, as overpower before this update is the only weirdly flat damage modifier compared to things like crits and vulnerability, which are multipliers. They've also said that they are going to talk about reworks to crit and vulnerable though as well, so with them changing all three of these damage buckets as a whole, it's impossible to really predict exactly what is going to happen here, but know that this sort of balance of these three stats is going to be a very major part of the discussion in the upcoming stream, and how they handle this is genuinely going to change how the game feels depending on what they do with it. Then finally we get one more tweet as a combo from Adam Fletcher and Adam Jackson. Fletcher mentions that the patch notes for the Season 2 release patch will come out the moment that the October 10th stream ends, so that we can see every single little note, and he brags about the size, saying that it is over 14,000 words. So we best get our reading glasses and get ready for that one, because that's pretty sizable. Adam Jackson responds to this saying that due to the full patch notes being as big as they are, and because they are releasing them right after the stream will less be spent just going in and talking about each individual note than it will be spent talking about the overarching changes and their thought process behind all of them. From what I can tell from reading everything the devs are saying, there are going to be a ton of changes to classes and general game mechanics all the way down to the base math at the core of damage calculations. Some of the actual patch notes may sound tiny when reading them as a result of this, but they'll probably have a much larger effect in how they interact with the game at large when such base things are changing. And so instead of diving into them individually as singular notes, they'd rather just talk about the ideas as a whole and why they made the changes they do, the intended direction that they want everything to be moving because of these changes. All I have to say is that the first stream that we had last week did make me a little bit more positive, so my guard is down ever so slightly, but they still have to absolutely nail the stream if they want to get more people back playing the game for Season 2, and that applies to the patch as a whole too, especially because, well, the patch hits exactly when Season 2 starts, at the same exact moment on October 17th. That gives us 1 week between this stream and the patch notes that are dropping with it, then the patch itself applying just 1 week later. That is no time at all between the patch hitting and Season 2 starting as well, which means that what we learn better not need any changes, it better not have any glaring issues, because if there are things that might have benefited from a bit of a longer discussion with the community involved, there simply will not be any time to make changes before the patch hits from when we talk about it. So basically, it comes down to the stream, these patch notes, and the changes that they already know that they've done. It depends how the community receives them, because if they did a good job, if the changes that they made are solid, then the game may well be properly enjoyable and get a bit of a fresh start going into Season 2. If they have any sort of catastrophic mistake, however, there will simply be no time or ability to recover for them. And that just about does it for now, everyone. I wasn't really expecting to make a news video on Diablo 4 in the handful of days between these two major streams, but the developers have been pretty active and pretty open with communication about what is going on at the moment, and with all the information that has been coming out, I just felt it would be a good idea to round it all up and talk about it before our next discussion, which will be entirely based on the October 10th stream, so look forward to that if you would rather watch a relatively concise and condensed version of the information they share, rather than watching the full 2-hour stream. I hope you've enjoyed this breakdown of recent happenings surrounding Diablo 4 then, and I hope your time waiting to pass judgment on Season 2 is filled with joy, not just awaiting the stressful, dreadful results. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.